Hi Pisces, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive. So thank you so much for being here. What I'm here to do is I'm going to do a read for you for the month of March 2019. And let's see here. So Pisces, it's going to be for all sun, moon, rising, as well as your Venus signs. And if you're not sure what those signs are, please be sure to check the description box below, okay? I've left a complimentary link that you can click and plug in all of your data, okay? And then you can plug in, once you plug in your data, if you don't know the time of your birth, plug in 12 noon if you're a new subscriber, okay? And it'll pop out your birth chart, and then you can check out those other videos as it relates to those other signs, okay? Outside of your sun sign, like your moon, your rising, as well as your Venus. So this will be a general read for Pisces sun, moon, rising, as well as your Venus signs, okay? Now this won't be for everyone because of it's a general read, so if it doesn't resonate with you, then save it for another Pisces, okay? All right, so let's get going. I also want to let you know, please continue your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. I certainly appreciate them, and you know that I read them too, okay? If you are looking for more of a private read, please hit me up at the guidedintuitive.com. That's my website, and we'll get you all set up over there, all right? So let's go ahead, Pisces, and see what first card that you have coming out. Wow, I've never seen this card come out before on this particular deck. So the first card that we have here is repetition, okay? Repetition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera down to the board and we're going to get started, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. That way you can kind of see the cards a little bit better, okay? So this is talking about repetition. So very, very interesting. So there could be something that you are you're kind of thinking of, obviously, over and over and over and over again, okay? So it's really coming up strongly. Now this might have to do with a relationship, may have to do with patterns, right? Maybe you have a feeling that there is a history that's repeating, and maybe it may have to do, I will tell you, so it may have to do, because you see this as kind of like the moon phases, right? And it might have to do with something from the past, okay? And that's kind of how I'm seeing this here, because it's almost as if that maybe it's something in your childhood, in your relationships, or in your career. It's like it's escapable, okay? They are escapable. And I guess that's what I want to see. And this is saying you should really stop and learn the lesson so you can move forward. There's no need to mindlessly or even endlessly hit the repeat. So look outside of what you know and break a cycle, because someone perhaps, someone, if it's not the universe, it's someone that's trying to tell you something, and a unique response to a repeat problem is needed. Does that make sense? That's what seems to be coming through here for me. And you're kind of going within of what's been hidden, okay? And it's very, very important. Very important here, okay? And this also wants to let you know is that you have a unique expression of your spiraling DNA, right? You're not limited to your patterning. And you have all the time you need to understand those patterns in your world, but you also have the power, Scorpio, to change them if that's needed, okay? So break free and really reshape your destiny and follow, the intertwining pathways, follow the pathways of peace and love. And that's what the card wants to remind you of, because it's going to bring you tons of wisdom, okay? Nature's, for pattern making is comforting, right? What comes around kind of goes around, like the seasons, right? Nature's patterns are responsive, very, very responsive. They're also very, very intelligent, and they have starting and completion points. They're reliable, but here's the difference. There's a difference between being reliable, and there is a difference of not predictable, okay? They can be reliable. Maybe the winter season will come, but one winter season can bring in a ton of flooding, and another winter season can bring in maybe snow. Another winter season can bring in a little bit of rain, not a lot. You see what I mean? So that's what this is saying. And so the repetition, there's something that's kind of going over, that keeps, the replay keeps happening here, okay? And that is something that needs to that's popping out. Something in your history. of some sort. And but here's the thing, it's a beautiful chance for you to go inside and reflect and to think how to do things differently. Okay. I want you to remember that too. Okay. It is you're having difficulty breaking a pattern or habit of thinking. So establish a positive routine of that. Okay. To release stress, tension, and anger. What you want to do is to work to break a cycle. And you need to recognize it. So this is really just going within and really digging down deep so you can get a better outcome, and because you don't want to build a storm, right? You want to walk away. It may be that you have to walk away from a challenging personality, right? It might be just difficult, kind of breaking any sort of habit, but it's available here for you, and that's what it wants you to do. Okay, so that's what's really important there. Okay. And in that way, when you do that, you return to oneness too. Okay. So break the cycle, shift into something that's going to make you feel at ease. Okay. Very, very important. So what else do we have that's coming up for you here? It wants to come out. Fragments. Okay. Well, when you go through this sifting, and it's just something that you have got to go deeper into, what happens is that you're going to get, it's almost as if there's a different, a hidden event of some sort will kind of influence a current situation. So something that you find out here is going to influence a particular situation. And maybe it's about trust issues due to maybe some sort of secrecy or some sort of deception. A child ordeal is actually brought into light. And what this wants you to do is to draw your own meaning from it. Okay? Hold your broken self, if that is you. Or perhaps it could have to do with another person or another, in a very loving way. And until that it is strong and beautiful once more. There are parts of yourself that have yet to be realized. Okay? So take your time in getting to know someone if it's in a relationship. And this is saying is take your time to know someone before you give them your trust. Take time on that. Take time even to get to know yourself. Okay. Because you're still trying to realize yourself, and you're almost there, not quite there. And it's a constant evolving situation, right? It's a constant journey to get to know oneself. It's never done. It's never done. But what this wants to let you know is that discovering what is hidden can be an epic journey. But what we find is that there's this, it's like this this secret. It's like you don't want someone to see something. It's almost like you're kind of holding back, and you're saying, hey, stand off a little bit. I don't know you that well. I got to get to know you a little bit more, because I'm only getting fragments here. I got to get to know you a little bit better. So if that's a relationship, this could be you not wanting to show who you really are, or diving deep into the fragments of yourself and healing something that maybe was this repetition situation here. Okay. So you don't want to be around a lot of people. You're kind of like going within a little bit more, kind of that type of thing. But what you're going to find is the beauty in your most secret self is what's going to happen. And that's what you're going to find. So it's very, very beautiful. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to hide. Note that. You are blessed, and you are held in the loving field of the Divine Mother. So know that. Here you can kind of like, it's about seeing your shadows and also you seeing your light. And it's also bringing that shadow and light together and seeing that you are beautiful. You don't have to hide. Okay, so that's whatever resonates. It's going to be different for some of you out there. Okay, so what is the next card that wants to come out for you here? Nice. Okay, so this is beautiful, because what this talks about here is alchemy, and what this wants to say, it's quite beautiful. You can be the alchemist of your own life. Okay. And it's so beautiful. See if you can I'm sorry for the glare there, if you can actually see that. So that's what this bringing up here. And this is beautiful, because what this talks about is this, this is, alchemy was this ancient branch of philosophy. it was practiced through Europe, in the past, but also in Egypt. I don't know, in centuries, a lot of fourth century or something like that, or even third. But this actually is a branch of philosophy, and this is about transformation of matter. Okay, and it's about finding the gold, and converting base metals into gold, right? And it's that type of thing that's happening and taking place here. So it is quite beautiful, and I like seeing this because it's saying is that you can be the alchemist in your own life. Okay, and you can actually take those fragments of the type of base metals of that repetition that's happening, taking those fragments, and you convert that into the beautiful gold to find that universal elixir, right? And that's what this alchemy is coming out here in saying for you here. Okay, it's quite beautiful, and it's saying that it's up to you to acknowledge an obstacle that is not permanent, and it's like, regardless of whatever obstacle this is, or even who is to blame. It could be could be some sort of repetition that's happening in a relationship, let alone within one's self. But there is it's a responsibility that one needs to take to defy a false limitation. So there's some sort of quirk or idiosyncrasy, that is a strength, and it wants you to bring it out into your own. Okay, so this is it wants to know that you are a precious gem, you are an individual, and throw out your woes like into this to like this smelting pot, and let them and craft them into powerful tools, and experiment what you have and give it value. So it's almost like I see this woman is, even in the card previously, you see that's like, she's got the eye in her hand. She's got the power and the perception of the third eye, that she is able to take those fragments and the base metals, and to create the alchemy of her life into something very, very beautiful. And you do see a lot of the yellow that is in this, and that is about confidence and self-esteem. That fire, that yellow here, and that talks about the solar plexus on your willpower, your self-confidence. It's quite beautiful. There's also a lot of the orange in here, which is the sacral chakra, that's talking about your creativity and your sexual natures, is all coming out here. It's gorgeous. So this is just saying is that you are the alchemist, and you are able to turn your shadow side and marry that with your light, bring those fragments together, and create this beautiful alchemy that you are going to present to the world. And it does come with figuring out what this is here, a false limitation. Okay, so it's like the rocks, they're formed in the crust, in the mantle of our planet, and when melted rock it turns into like magma, that's that lava, and when it cools it becomes a rock, and over time that rock erodes, right, and it becomes sedentary rock, and then heat and pressure within the earth both change that rock into a metamorphic rock. So there's lots of changes in alchemy that takes place. You can turn lead into gold. Let your true self surface. Okay, remember, don't hide. Let your true self surface. All right, refine it, polish it, and respect its beauty, and you're going to have so much strength and value in that gem that you are. Okay, that needed to be said to something or to someone out there, okay, in a situation or whatever. Okay, so the next card that we get, how interesting is this? I haven't seen this card before. This is absence. Okay, so very interesting. So wow, so is there someone that you're missing? Could be someone that you're missing, or it's like the absence of an agenda, the absence of stress, or the absence of desire to wear a mask of some sort. is required before you can actually fully be present once more. So there's some sort of absence, okay? And absence always makes the soul grow a lot stronger. Something's missing that needs attention here, okay? So rather than fighting what you don't want, what it wants you to do is put your energy into what you do want. But first, it wants you to rest for a moment before you gallop away. Because, and I say gallop because there's just like this little horse here with these little hoofs on here. It's really cute. And I'll show you that in a minute. But it's about this, because if you constantly focus on fighting what you don't want, that constant illumination burns out. Okay? So this is about meditating to connect with your inner world. And that's where time melts into eternity and love is just always present. So this is about a time for meditation, okay? And that's what I'm seeing here, okay? Journey in meditation through the different dimensions and just self-gaze into the dark and, into that dark mirror and see infinite light in your soul. And really relax and go within each day. So this is saying it's kind of a reminder to add some meditation of some sort if you can. Some quiet time for an inward journey because it's going to be illuminating for you. And it's going to be very, very bright for you. And that's what's missing, okay? So there's lots of sources of light on Earth, right? We've got to go within sometimes to find our own light. You've got the sun, the stars, you've got fireflies. Those are all kind of sources of light, but there is no source of darkness. It's interesting. Nothing makes darkness. No energy is required to sustain it, and darkness can't just be like boxed up and then just taken away. Darkness is nothing in and of itself, yet there is potential everywhere. Darkness, just remember, is just the absence of light. Okay, so we need the night. Plants, they need the night so they could breathe and they could process food properly. And we all need the darkness. So in absence of the light, we create spaces of rest and of healing and of intimacy so we can go within and look at where the moon shines at night and look through that repetition, right? And see what is hidden in the fragments of ourself so we can bring out the fire beauty of the alchemy and the gem that is high-fiving the universe, right? So that's what this wants to say. So something is missing here. So when you're ready, rested, and you're healed, then what can happen is you're going to be able to emerge and be present in the light once more. Okay, but this does want you to take a moment of reprieve. Okay, this is really using your third eye. There's a lot of indigo color in here, all that blue in there, and you'll see some of the red has to deal with your root chakra, which is again going into your foundation. Okay, getting your safety, stability, and your foundation in place, and that's the meditation here. Okay, so very, very key. There is a little bit of green in here, which of course is the heart and focuses on your self-love and love. So take that self-love time to go within and illuminate because that's what's missing. And it really wants to come out. So let's just see what the soul trees want to say in terms of a few words, okay, that's going to help you in this process. Okay, possibilities. Okay, nice. So what this wants to say is that look at all the possibilities that you have in your life. And this is saying is that when you kind of go within, what was absent now brings out some new possibilities for yourself. It's almost like you get it's almost as if you get this new opportunity, and this is more than one possibility as well. So just note that. So it's what I'm seeing here. It's more than one possibility is actually taking place here. Okay. So just note that there is a lot that you have at hand, but when you go within, you actually find your source, and that helps you. So, you don't want to, or here what you want to do is, there's a lot of alternatives that you can do, and it's up to you to make it happen. Okay, so go within, and then you realize all the possibilities that are before you. Next, we get communication. Okay, so this is your throat chakra. I will tell you, the throat chakra is strong on both of these here. Okay, because as well as even the third. As well as the crown chakra. But this is beautiful. So there's a lot of possibilities on how you communicate. So perhaps in a relationship, communication is going to be very big for you. Great possibilities can become of it, but you've got to communicate, and that's using your throat chakra. And also, being able to explain your emotions, because there's green in here too. So it does talk about that as well. So do keep that in mind, and really keep alive that those energy centers. Okay, so I think the crown has a little bit of the purple, but it's mostly like, I almost see it's more of the indigo blue. So it's your third eye, and then also focusing on your heart. Both of those, clear those out, because and then even your throat chakra, dealing with communication. So it's going to be really good, because you'll see the possibilities, and you'll be able to better communicate with the universe, or with that other person, or in whatever situation is at hand over here. Okay, what else? Truth. Yeah, you're going to find your own truth. Wow. This is beautiful. And it's all about going within, right? It's all about going within and to find your own truth. It brings your own, you're kind of getting your foundation into play, and then the truth reveals itself through your alchemy. Okay, so your own truth, as well as the truth of a situation, or whatever that is. If it's a love situation or work situation, it's going to take a lot of communication, but to notice the possibilities. But you need to be absent for a moment, going within to be able to determine that. Okay. So very interesting read for you guys. A lot of alchemy here, a lot of taking that of which, kind of revisiting, taking that which was hidden, and actually bringing it to light, and not hiding, and bringing out your original self, becoming that powerhouse. And to sustain that, it will be going through some meditation. And that's going to bring forth possibilities. It's going to enhance your communication. It's also going to bring out your inner truth in this process, okay? And that will tend to raise your self-esteem, and also get you grounded, because the two colors here are for the root and the solar plexus. Root, foundation, solar plexus, your powerhouse, your willpower, all right? Love you guys. I look forward to seeing you in the month of, we're going into April then for the monthlies. And until then, namaste.